Let's do it so you guys can see. Looking at me. Ooh, look at it. It just unlocked. You just feel a haptic. Look at that. Oh, it says it. Ooh, look at that. What's up, you guys? Today we're gonna be taking a look at the Apple Watch Series 6 in a long-term review. Now, I've been using this thing since launch. I'm gonna fill you guys in on durability, user experience, updates, as well as should you upgrade. On my wrist right now, we have the Apple Watch Series 5, as well as I have a Series 4. Should you upgrade from a Series 5, or should it be an older model like a Series 4, Series 3, and things like that? Maybe where the Apple Watch SE falls in line with the Series 6. Let's talk about it all. My name is CJ, this is CJ Unplugged. I am your smartwatch guru. I love smartwatches, so let's talk about it. First thing we're gonna talk about is should you upgrade if you have an Apple Watch Series 5. Now, the Series 6 introduced features that you can't get on the Series 5, but I wouldn't necessarily say unless those key features, those few key features are like 100% like things that you need or a necessity or something that you're into, or it's just like a deal breaker or like an ideal thing for you. There's no real reason. Like, I don't feel any difference in me using this Series 6 over this while coming from the Series 5. Like, I don't feel like I have a different watch, if that makes sense. And that's the whole point usually for you to upgrade a piece of technology, is to feel an enhancements or a difference. These Apple Watches are so good that Apple will have to throw a handful of features to separate it from its previous generation. And I'm talking year over year. If we're talking older devices like a Series 4, a Series 3, now we're talking about, yes, you should upgrade 100%, because you're gonna get those things that weren't available on those models, but are available on the Series 5. So like always on display is a Series 5 feature and things like that. So honestly, real talk, you might wanna jump to Series 5 before the 6, but me, when I talk about technology, especially if you're gonna upgrade, I think a lot of times getting the more latest thing just so you get longer support and longer updates over time is like an ideal situation. But then Apple also introduced this here Apple Watch SE, which is an ideal entry-level smartwatch. So it gets real complicated. It all comes down to what you want, what you need, and what are you looking for. But if you want the whole kit and caboodle, the Series 6 is a beautiful smartwatch. It's like the top smartwatch on the market. It's no longer debatable as to what's the better smartwatch when it comes to a person that owns an iPhone. A great contender, one of my favorites, is the Samsung Galaxy Watch 3. Love this smartwatch. It looks better to me. Personally, has more of a traditional watch feel, and if I'm wearing it with certain attire, this complements me better. The Apple Watch is just one of those things where it's like, oh, that is an Apple Watch. And that's the whole point of it. This is just like a marketing piece. Nevertheless, using this with your iPhone in comparison to the Apple Watch, there's so much more you get out of an Apple Watch on an iPhone as opposed to trying to connect like a Samsung watch to an iPhone. I would typically only use the Galaxy Watch when like I really wanted that and I didn't need the other extra and the whole kit and caboodle that I get in the Apple Watch. Now, the Apple Watch SE is an ideal, if you budget is a thing, this is a watch you can look into getting. And since it's a newer release, it should have a longevity similar to like the Apple Watch Series 6 because they came out at the same time. So you don't have to worry about, oh, I'm spending less, they're not gonna support it as long. Typically, you'll see a lot of Apple products get that long-term support and updates. All right, so nevertheless, should you upgrade from a Series 5? It's not really necessary unless you just 100% need those little extra tidbits that aren't available on the Series 5. Now, if you're on the Series 4, Series 3 territory, 100% the Series 6 is a go. Go ahead and get it. It's the latest hotness in the words of my boy Floss, and it's a really great watch. They also gave you these new color options. Now, I will say this, the new color options are dope. They're cool, but after a while, like in some instances, I wish my watch wasn't red, and I wish I had just a black one or more like low-key one. But in other instances, I love the fact that my watch is red. I've been using this Apple Watch Series 6 over these last 6+ months. The first thing we're gonna talk about, let's talk about the dislikes. The things that I dislike about owning this Apple Watch. The first, to me personally, is design. Now, I like it, I don't hate it, but I believe that there could be better. I feel like there could be traditional. I feel like there can be a more watch style design. But one thing we know with Apple is they want that once you see their product, you know it's their product. They don't want you to have to ask what watch that is. they want you to see it and you know it's an Apple Watch, and the Apple Watch does that. So it's hard for me to encourage Apple to want to go with something traditional like this, because with a Samsung watch, people have to ask me, what watch is that? They never have to ask me that with an Apple Watch. Unless you're gonna ask me what series watch is that or something like that, if you're into it that deep. But I would like Apple to play with the design of something similar to this. But I mean, that's wishful thinking. Another thing I'm not the biggest fan of, which, let me bring this back into the picture, battery life. Now, I get it. Let's be real. Everyone's charging their smartwatch every night. You build the habit, it's not as bad. But a watch like this, I could skip, or if I forget, I can still get along. Where with the Apple Watch, if I forget, I need to charge it instantly. But it does charge fast. You know, it's tit for tat, but I wish it had a longer, better battery life. I think we've been asking for that out of the Apple Watch for years now. I don't know if we'll ever get it. But the battery life is subpar to me. Another dislike I have towards the Apple Watch, and it sucks because I keep bringing in the competitor, but the lack of customization. On this watch, if you guys, I'll put some B-roll up, I have Rolex, Breitling, Tudor. I can get all these really dope custom watches. Now, I just found out about a new app for the Apple Watch that gives you some of that customability. Like, they have conform, like Rolex style faces to this square design. But if I'm gonna be honest, I like the fact that, you know, all of those watches were built on a circular platform, and conform them to the square, I mean, you're getting there, but it just doesn't, it's awkward. So the custom watch faces, or the lack of customability in watch faces, that's another dislike for me with the Apple Watch. But I mean, I love the complication watch face. I can't even lie. Like, the fact that I look at my watch, I can see the weather today. I can see what it's gonna be over the next handful of hours. I get to see my battery power. I can control my music. I got my high and low of today. I got my exercise, time, date. So much information in one stop. And I love that about the Apple Watch. So as much as I brought up those little nitpicking dislikes, what you get in an Apple Watch, overall, I think it outweighs the negatives. So after 6 months, how is this smartwatch durability wise? Let's take an up close look. Let's see if we get it to focus in. I don't baby this thing. I wear it, I've banged it, I've hit it, and you know what I mean? I thought I nicked it, but I think that was on my Apple Watch Series 5, which I think, I don't know if you can really see it. There's like a small nick right there. So the 6 though, same wear, same kind of tear and all that. I haven't banged it, but I will say this. For my people who work in more rigorous work days and more physical and stuff, I would get some type of protection for it. There's things like these from Rhino Shield, these little bumper cases, where you can, you get a lip, so that way if you hit, you're not hitting directly on glass, unless it's like a pointed object, obviously. But, and then around the edges and so forth. So if you're in a more work intensive environment, like these Rhino Shield protectors are super dope. I'll have a link for them in the description. But like, I've been wearing this thing naked. Even with my smartphones, I'm starting to get more into just like using them without cases. I go back and forth though. Typically in the past with my smartwatches, I would just cover them and baby them, but I'm no longer like that. But I will say this, durability wise, this thing has kept up with me just fine, no issues. And this is just an aluminum version. Nothing special. I don't have titanium or stainless steel and so forth. This is just a more cost-effective Apple Watch, and I'm doing just fine. Because the reason why I like to go with this is because this is probably like the typical that everyone's gonna use. Also, when I'm upgrading every year, this is more cost efficient as opposed to me just grabbing stainless steel out to stainless steel or titanium or things like that, which eventually I might get to because I like stainless steel and I kind of like the weight and the feel. It's just, you know, with this design, it's like, Now, let's talk about performance. When it comes to the Apple Watch, performance is there. It's nonetheless 100% effective, super fast. There's never a lack. Hold on, let me unlock this thing so you guys can see. There's rarely lack. This thing is booming. These are all of the open apps already. And like if I were to go and I'm looking for an app to get to and I need to get in there, like I hit it, hit it, it's instantly open. You see how fast that is? There's no lack or slack when it comes to an Apple Watch. This is the best companion for your iPhone. I will say that because it's so intuitive how it interacts with the Apple ecosystem. I'll speak a little bit more about that. But performance-wise, this thing is snappy, as fast as ever. You got a beautiful display, AMOLED, super crisp, super clear. Like, you're gonna enjoy your experience with the Apple Watch. I just wish it looked different sometimes. But all in all, like, great product. Apple did it really well, and it's hard for them to improve. That's why it's hard to upgrade year after year and really feel a difference, because it's such a well-rounded smartwatch. That's the best description I could give to an Apple Watch. I was gonna talk about battery next, but I kind of already mentioned that in my dislike. Battery performance, it is what you expect out of an Apple Watch. You charge it up, you get through your day, and you charge it at night, you wake up, you get through your day, you charge it again. That's the typical pattern you're gonna develop with an Apple Watch. Now, one thing I have switched, I will say this, here's a tip for battery life. Now, this is for those of you. I've turned off my always on display, and I've lowered like the brightness. I got it to an ideal brightness. If I need to change it, I can raise it. But by me turning off always on display, I'm getting so much more battery life. Now, one thing I'm not afraid to say, I love always on display, and that was one of the biggest selling points for the Series 5 for me and going into the Series 6, but it kills the battery a lot. I got accustomed to always on displays and spoilage from a bigger battery and a different platform that offered it. And if, you know, turn off always on display, don't turn up the brightness any more than you need, and you get even more battery performance out of your Apple Watch Series 6 or Series 5. As you can see, I got always on display on my Series 5, because that's how I left it when I went and I switched to the Series 6. But yeah, I've since changed my Series 6 to not having it. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is user experience. This is where you find out why people like the Apple Watch, why it's the #1 selling. What can you expect? Over these last 6 months, it's been tried and true. It's been effective. It's been very efficient for me. Here's the thing, like, Apple Watches fit into the Apple ecosystem. If you subject yourself, this is to the people who choose to, grab like an Apple computer, an iPad, that's when you really see a lot of great features and the extension of the ecosystem. Now, when I go to my computer and it's locked, literally, this Apple Watch will unlock my computer. I don't have to worry about re-entering my password. That's convenience, that's time. Yes, it's just a handful of seconds, but at the end of the day, it's just walking into my computer, waking it from being asleep, and having it log in instantly. Love it. Now, the Apple Watch is also coming in super clutch for unlocking your smartphone while having a mask on. Turn this off, let's see. Put it up to my face, swipe up to unlock. Unlocking, I felt the haptic, it worked. Okay, let's do it so you guys can see. Looking at me. Ooh, look at it, it just unlocked. You just feel the haptic, look at that. Oh, it says it. Boo, look at that. Oh, it feels as if you have Face ID in normal. Look at it. Boom, it's so fast. This was just sent out, brand new update, and now you can unlock your iPhone while wearing a mask if you're using an Apple Watch and you have it connected. Like, that is ideal, and it makes sense because that's also giving security. You have to activate this. Let me just be clear. I turned it on for my computer so that my computer will allow me to unlock via my Apple Watch. All of these things, once you put your Apple ID on it, Apple knows it's you and it's your device. You have the option to say that, hey, I'm wearing my Apple Watch. I want the ability to unlock my iPhone while wearing a mask. Super convenient, super ideal, and that's a big part of the proponent of why these Apple Watches are well-rounded, why they offer convenience. They're great for fitness tracking. They're great for encouragement in fitness. They're great for completing your ecosystem. They're great for responding to text messages. They're great for answering phone calls. Great all around smartwatches. So the Apple Watch Series 6 has been nothing but that and a little something on top. You know, a little bit of something, but not like a ton of a difference from, say, the Series 5. So if you got a Series 5 and you love it, keep it. Just wait for the 7 or the 8, you know, or the next one is coming this year. If you are just now shopping and, you know, you're more budget, you don't want to spend so much, but you want to see what the Apple Watch experience is like, this is the lighter, less horsepower, not so saucy, but yet will give you an Apple Watch experience. This is the Apple Watch SE. It's an option to go to, link in the description below. But if you want the whole kit and caboodle, the whole ideal Apple Watch experience that Apple intended for you to have, all of the you know, health features and so forth, you get the Apple Watch Series 6 and you will be satisfied. Pair it with the iPhone 12, 12 mini, 10, 11, whatever iPhone you're using. That's another great thing about the ecosystem. It does not discriminate. Whatever piece of iPhone you're using, SE, 11, like I'm currently using an iPhone 10 as my second phone to my 12 in 2021. And I'm gonna make a video about that because to see how Apple's phones are aging. Hold on one second, let me show you. Just to show you, I'm not capping. You can see there's a SIM card in here and everything. So I'm using this as my current business line. So I did this to see if the experience lives up to current standards. I have an iPhone XS Max, I could have went there. I have an iPhone 11 Pro, I could have used that one. But I wanted to use the 10 strategically, so stay tuned for that video. And also, if you're looking for an Apple Watch, my name is CJ, I'm your smartwatch guru. I just gave you the scoop. Make a choice.
That's on me, ayy. Any day could have been dead. High school price on my head. Paranoid lying in my bed. Pray to God they don't turn my shirt cherry. I was lost, didn't know me. Introduced myself to codeine. 6 months was a dope fiend. Philly didn't even know things. There was a low me. Swear to God it would've owed me. Everything you ever told me. Everything you ever showed me. I forgot it. Caused me drama.